All right, so I built a Vtac Barricade, and me and my buddy went out and shot it. And this is how we're trying to save on ammunition by running it cold and then actually using bullets. All right, so I went ahead and built myself one of these Vtac barricades. Super easy to do. Found the schematics online. Doesn't cost a lot of money. I think I'm 25 bucks into this thing and some scrap wood. Okay, it took me a whole hour to do. Not a big deal. It's something I've used in classes before and other training events and things like that. And I really, really enjoyed it. I've just never done it. I've never built one for myself and applied it to my own practice. So what I'm doing with this is I'm taking it out and I'm jumping from position to position and working grip and how you got to cant the firearm and to get your optic to line up through the port and things like that. I'm doing all that dry. I'll go through the whole thing dry maybe 3-4 times, and then I'll grab a magazine or two, and then I'll go through it live. And by the time I'm doing it live, jumping in those positions, it's not so awkward. I've kind of worked out the kinks, how I want to lay down on the ground, how I want to put my hands against the brace or pull on the brace or the barricade, I'm sorry. Do it like that to brace the firearm on the barricade, right? That's like with the rifle. Pistol, your grip's going to change when you're leaning against it. You're turning sideways. You got to go like this, like that. A lot of things, a lot of variables go into working off a barricade and all these different holes. So it's a really good barricade for that. And I think it's really thought out because each one is, it forces you to do something a little different. The port might be big, but then you got to get all the way down on your hands and knees, or it's that position between standing up and taking a knee. It's really awkward. You're kind of leaning onto the barricade. It's a really thought out thing, and I think if you manage to build it and follow the actual positions where to put all the holes, it's going to be really good to have. Like I said, I'm saving a lot of ammo by doing this. So I got some little bit of footage of me and my buddy going through it with the rifle, the shotgun, and the pistol. Now I'll say I never did any barricade shotgun work, so I just kind of went through it like it was a rifle, right? The rifle I've done before, and the most of it was most work I've done off of these was with a pistol, and I think that's where that's where I struggle the most, is because when you're getting up on it, your grip's gonna change, and when your grip changes, that's when it becomes a little bit more difficult. And like I said, went through it dry, figured things out, and went live. Hit it. All right, so I think this is like a really good piece of targetry to add to, you know, what you've already got. It's definitely going to force you to do some things a little differently. And if you've never done it, it's just a really good time. So some, you know, a little, it forces things like you're going to run into stoppages if you're not able to keep your ejection port clear on the bottom holes, right? Because you've got the gun face down and there's nowhere for it to go. So you're going to have to like figure that out, you know. That's one of the things that forces you to do, and I like that. You know, that's how I'm changing up the training there, and it really does cut down on the amount of ammo you're using, especially if you go through it dry a few times. You'll find that you're going to spend a lot more effort and time getting into the position than you're actually going to do taking the shot. I'm not going to say this is advanced stuff. This is basic stuff too, but you're focusing more on getting into that position, and that's a whole nother side of firearms training, right? So it's low cost to get into one of these. It just takes a little bit of time. So it's definitely worth the while to do it, in my opinion. So you should go ahead and give it a try.